Guys, this is another episode of Mighty Marketing Minute. I am your host, Michael Reed. I'm just here, guys. I'm going to bring to you guys another app, another cool software, another cool thing, or another marketing tip, or some kind of automation tool every day of the week around 10 o'clock in the morning, depending on what the weather's like. But I'm really excited to bring to you guys an app. One of the things that I talk about the most, which I'm having a webinar on today, is Google reviews. How to automate your Google reviews. If you're a lawyer and you're sitting there, a legal professional, and you're sitting there like, how can I get more reviews, or do I even need reviews? Come to the webinar today because I'm going to show you guys how to do that. You can go to webinartraining.net. Okay, and I'll remind you at the end of the video. So what we're going to do today is we're going to dive into a particular app. There's a lot of apps out there or software tools that you can use to be able to automate this process of asking for Google reviews. Now, some people say, well, I'll just ask people for a Google review, and then they'll just leave it. That's not actually how it works, because if you ask someone to leave a Google review, a lot of times they're busy and they got things going on, and so it's just not easy. You have to make it easy for them. So I've automated a tool. I've automated using different free tools so that you can be able to make that happen in your business. And I show you guys that on today's webinar, webinartraining.net. Okay. But I'm going to dive into a tool particularly that I like, that I want to show you guys today, that is pretty good deal actually. And I'm going to go over it with you guys real quick here. So let's dive into it. This tool is actually called Meetly. It's a pretty interesting tool. It's called Try Meetly. You can go to trymeetly.com. But essentially what this tool does, let me make myself smaller here. Essentially, actually that's fine. What this tool does, let me just show you really quickly. It's very simple. You don't need to overthink it. Essentially, it goes through and tells you exactly what, how many reviews you have. It's plugged into one location. You can have multiple locations added for an additional fee. But this one here is set up to my location in Chico. So I have all these reviews. If I go to messages, I can actually add someone. So now I spoke to the owner, the CEO, of this company, and I told him, is there a way that I can automate this where the system will automatically flow, where like in my automation system I have set up, when someone orders online for me, is there a way to have this system flow and just create a new message and send it to them immediately, or delayed and then send it to them? And he said they don't have that at this very moment, where it can be just completely on its own. But he said they're integrating with Zapier this month. And so Zapier, you can have a delay. So I can set up an automation tool where there's a delay in when it asks for the review, but then it goes through this process, which uses their cell phone number. So you want to make sure you ask for their cell phone number when they sign up on your website. Most ProPers will just give it to you because they're like, they want to contact me about the job and I'm paying them money. If they're paying you money, usually they're not going to wonder why you want their cell phone. So here's a couple examples of where I've sent out some messages to different people. Let's just look at this one. So you put their phone number in. Let's actually do a new one. Oh, excuse me. Oh, all right. So let's go new. And if I go new and I put in somebody's number, let's see, let's put in, I don't want to show everybody's number. Let's go contacts, and let's go new contact, and let's put in, I'm going to do that for a second. Let's put in a new contact. Let's put in, I'm just going to put in Reading office. Actually, I'm going to put in social phone. I want to show you guys how this works. Kyle, can you go get the social phone, the other phone? Okay, let me look up the phone number real quick. So let's see. I call it social phone. I have another phone just for social media, but it has a cell phone number on it. Just got to look and see what it is. Social phone. So, okay. All right. So it's 530-966-2704. Okay. And then you put in their email address. We'll just throw in a one of these emails here, and then company, let's just say Mighty Mike Marketing. All right, we're going to throw in an address, a different address, 1538 West Street. We'll try that one. All right, and then this is me. Okay, so I'm going to save it. So it's really cool, really easy to save. And then you just come over here to messages. All right, I'm going to move this back over here. So now if I go new, I can actually select myself, Michael Reed. Let's just go Michael Reed, good grief. So I create it, right? And then once I have Michael Reed set, whoever I want to send it to, I can automatically come down here and hit request review. I can even request follow-up. Like let's hit request review. And we want them to review us on Google. You could do Google or Facebook. They set it up for you where it ties in automatically. And I want to show you guys how cool this is. So it gives me the templated text that I've already added, right? And it gives the code. Now I thought, well, if I have this code, I could take this code and just save it and I don't need to pay these guys anymore. But it's not as easy as that. It has something to do with the way it clicks and then it automatically brings up the review window. So that's the one missing piece. And I've seen people online talk about how you can take when the review window pops up, you can take the link at the top and just take that and make a bit.ly link and shorten that link. But that never seems to work. It always seems like Google's like, well, this isn't your browser, so it doesn't want to bring it up. What I found to work easiest is to just search that, put your company name specifically in, like here how I have Chico Process Server Daily with the DAT, exactly the way it shows it on Google. That's the way I wanted to show it on the search on Google. And then I go take that link and I give them that link. But this actually gives a cool little, this cool little link right here, which does an extra thing that I've been unable to do without it, which is bring the actual pop-up in front of you that has the stars where you can leave a review. So let's go ahead and see this. Let's go ahead and hit send. It's going to send me a text message. Okay. So it just sent me a message here. It says, let's bring it in, zoom it out. So it automatically comes over here and says, hi, Michael, thank you again for choosing Chico Process Server Daily. Would you mind taking a minute to leave us an honest review? Here's the link. And it gives them the link. Now, if I click on the link, it wants me to verify that I am who I say I am. So it automatically is trying to log in. And once you log in, it immediately takes you to be able to leave a review. I think I'm logged into my company email, so it's not going to work on that. But so that's one of the challenges I found, is that when I clicked on it, if I'm not logged in, I know most people only have one email or two emails. Me, I have like 15. So for all the different companies, the different departments and stuff. And so this one wants me to log into an email, but it doesn't give me an option to log into a different email. So that's one challenge I have with this app, okay? There's a few, but that's one big challenge I have. Not everybody's like me to have that issue, but if I'm having that issue, somebody else will too. If I have to, now I got to figure out how to log into Google from this device when I'm already logged into Google email, and I don't have to log in again. So it's just weird the way that works, but definitely, I've had other people do it. You can see where other people have done it, and they actually went on and left a review. I send it to a few people, and it works. It actually sends this message and actually sends them. If they're logged in, it'll bring it up on their phone to leave a review immediately. So the other cool thing I like about Meetly is that when they integrate with Zapier, is we'll be able to do all that. But the other thing is, I was telling him, is he doesn't have the ability to do email requests right now. It's just text messaging. But they're also this month adding, they expect to have email on board. And he said that text messaging is the best, and like it's been proven and all this stuff. And I'm not in this business of Google reviews necessarily, right? But I know that in the legal industry, especially in the law industry, we live and die by our emails. Like every job that comes in, especially process servers, every job that comes in is money. And if that email comes in and we don't take care of it, that's money that we don't get. So to say that text works better, it's true, except for the fact that when someone orders online from me, they're checking their emails, and that's the way we've already agreed that we're going to communicate. So text messaging just takes it to another level where they may be a little bit less inclined to leave a review because they're on their phone. Now they got to log into their Google account, and they may not do it. So anyway, I would like to see both. I'd like to see it where it'll go to their text message if they gave their cell phone, and then go to their email as well. So guys, I hope this little review of Meetly was helpful to you. Definitely these different types of Google apps are helpful. The other issue I have with this, and I mentioned it to the CEO of the company, was if you send everyone automatically a Google request, you better be prepared to get some bad reviews. And he said, because the way I do it is I funnel them. I funnel the bad reviews using my automation. I funnel the bad reviews to a survey. The good review people are happy to the review. So I mean, that's how you're going to get hundreds of great reviews and one or two bad reviews. Because the truth of the matter is, you're going to get bad reviews eventually, whether it's somebody you served, whether it's somebody a client that was upset because you took their whole retainer fee and then they didn't understand what the breakdown was on the retainer. Whatever the case is, you're going to get bad reviews sometimes, and it could be just simply because of miscommunication. I've had people that I've served leave me a review that I was lying about serving them because I served them through the window. They were communicating with me through the window and thought that if I didn't touch them with the papers, they weren't served. It's just silliness. And so sometimes you'll get bad reviews, and the way to deal with bad reviews is to get 10 times the amount of good reviews. That's the answer. So I hope this is helpful to you guys. Definitely open to suggestions if you guys have other apps that you want me to review. This one seems pretty good, especially being that Google reviews are the #1 deciding factor for consumers who are going on to Google to try to decide who they're going to use for a legal service provider. They use Google reviews. When you look next to someone who has 100 Google reviews versus someone who has 5, you're never going to choose the one who has 5, especially if the one who has 5 has 2 bad reviews and 3 good ones, right? And they're 4.2 stars, and the other guy's 5. Because if you can have 200 reviews, or let's just say 100 reviews and 3 bad ones, it still says 5-star, because percentage-wise, you're closer to 5 stars. You're like right close to 5 stars. So it's just going to say 5 stars, even though you have 3 bad reviews. So the key to mitigating that is to have a ton of good reviews. That's the goal. So again, today's webinar, I hope to see you guys on there. Go to webinartraining.net. And every Wednesday, we're having a webinar training. I'm calling the Mighty Masterclass, where I dive in and kind of do what the Mighty Marketing Minute does, but I dive into deep detail. They're about an hour long, and I just want to provide as much value as I can. If you guys need help with this type of service, you want to have a cool graphic made, a cool video made, you want to have some intros, outros on a cool like YouTube style video, you want to have a landing page website developed for you so you can automate all your systems. Mighty Mike Marketing, I am just tearing it up in 2020. I love marketing. I just love it. All right, guys, got my new gavel. It is officially the end of the Mighty Mike Marketing Minute.